Hi, welcome to this live streaming that is going to be all about how to ignite sales from live launches, challenges, workshop, whatever you want to call them. For you who don't know me, my name is Angela. I'm a virtual event sales expert, and I help my clients attract and close clients to sell their offer one-to-many using virtual events. So please let me know if you're watching me this live, or if you're catching the recording of this. If you have any kind of questions, just type them in the comment section. I'm going to try to move on in the content because we have, of course, limited time that I can be live here. So, but I will go back and answer any kind of questions that you have after the live streaming, okay? So welcome, and I wanted to share quickly my story because I know there are going to be a lot of people that are going to see this for the very first time. And I think it's important to understand my conviction behind using virtual events to sell our offers and to scale our business. Because when I started out, I didn't start out doing what I do today. I launched a fitness business, and this is a little more than 5 years ago. I was a truck driver. I was living in the truck from Sunday to Friday, unloading, loading. And I had this dream of lay on the beach, drink pina colada, and see sales coming in a fitness business that I wanted to launch. So what I did was that I took the hard way. So I went down I was sold this dream, idea, wish of these evergreen sales by people that actually didn't do evergreen sales to close those sales. I'm just going to be, I'm totally honest. I am totally into transparency. So that is what I was sold. And I invested in, I built myself my own fitness app. I had funnels, I had quizzes, I had all the tech that you could possibly get your hands on. And it was an exhausting way of running. It almost costed me more money than I was making. And I actually run ads to kind of sell that because I didn't know how to build an audience. So I run ads without having a dialed in message, without having an offer that was validated. And then I came across a challenge, and it was some kind of 5-day challenge. And I can't remember today what the topic was, but it was the turning point because I was just like blown away that can it really be this simple? And of course, it wasn't that simple, because what I didn't understand was that it's an entire strategy behind running successful 5-day challenges, right? But I didn't understand it. So I launched my own 5-day challenge. It failed. And I invested in a coach that taught me how to do 5-day challenges. And that was the turning point, because then I started to understand everything about copywriting and things like that. And I actually removed all the tech, everything. And I scaled and built that fitness business to 6 figures using only one 5-day challenge and one webinar. That is how I built my first business. I didn't do any kind of sales between these challenges because I didn't know how. I didn't know how to do sales between. So that is the only thing that I did. And about 3 years ago, I decided that I wanted to help others that were like me, stuck in complexity, stuck in not knowing what to do and when, and just chasing these kind of instant gratification and all those complicated way of running a business. So I started to pivot into what I do today. So I started out by helping people do webinars, and then I moved into also helping people to do challenges and virtual events and live launches. And then, of course, I stopped working as a truck driver, and I worked full time with my business. So that is why I so strongly believe that running virtual events is superior to what is already out there, what the things that I was caught up in, because it can be so simple. But also, it's not only information thrown together. It can look like it's only information thrown together, right? But it's actually not. It's an entire strategy behind taking people on a journey from being entered in here cold with a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of maybe imposter syndrome. They don't think that they can do it, all this kind of objection, and take them on a transformational journey so they are ready to invest in whatever we are selling. And I spent a lot of time building out my first challenge that failed. And it wasn't until I realized that this entire strategy, it's not only the information that we provide that is going to help us close the sales. There's so many other things. So I wanted to do this video to help you understand how you can increase your sales from a 5-day challenge. And I also want to invite you to a workshop that we have coming up in June, the 19th of June. It's a free workshop, and it's an 8-day workshop where we are going to take you through the entire process of what I'm actually going to speak a little bit about today, but I'm going to come back to that. So welcome to this. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about, of course, when it comes to closing sales and why we are struggling with closing sales is our sales mindset. Right? And it might sound easy and it might sound simple. Yeah, but it's just mindset. Everybody talk about it. Yeah, but it's crucial. Right? Because if you enter your 5-day challenge with a bad mindset around sales, it's not going to convert because you're going to attract objections, right? You attract objections by having maybe things and coming up around other people's money. You know, I don't know if they can afford me. I don't know if they can pay. They are not going to be able to invest in me, those kind of things. Entering your sales conversation, whether it's a 5-day challenge, a webinar, a sales call, with a mindset, things like that, objections around other people's money, is going to lead to a very low conversion rate, right? So first you want to look in within. And you want to lead by example, and you want to have a mindset, a strong mindset, elevate your sales mindset. And also when it comes to understanding that everything is a process and you need to commit to that process. And unfortunately, in today's marketing and in today's world, we are so after the instant gratification. So when things doesn't work out our way the first time, we give up, right? We don't run the reps. But we actually know that running the reps is the key to success, because all successful athletes out there became the best by running the reps, right? They didn't start out being the fastest in the world, right? It was a transformational journey, and it usually takes years, right? Which means it's the same thing with your business, and especially when it comes to sales, because it takes some time. And it's not going to, your first sales course, your first webinar, your first challenge, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to convert at it will when you have run 10 of them, 20 of them. We have run over 380 converting events in my business, both in my fitness business and the one that I run today. It's still not perfect. We still find ways of improving, especially during 2022, when people were kind of zooming out. They were tired of being on Zoom. We needed to do a lot of changes, right? So it starts with you committing to the journey. Be willing to run the reps and be okay when it doesn't convert the perfect conversion the first time. Just do it again. Just do it again and again and again. And that starts in here, right? And also understanding that sales is serving. You can't help people if you do not sell to them. Totally impossible, right? And you can't help yourself, because if you don't do any sales, you have no business. So you need to start falling in love with sales. Love being sold to in order to love selling. And understanding that selling is not selling. Selling is serving your audience on the highest level. Because your job as a service provider is to give people access to solutions, right? And if you refuse to hand out that solution and say to people, hey, I got the solution for you, come and get it, you're not being of service, right? You're not being of service because you can't help them. So that is number one. That is one of the biggest reasons why converting events, webinar, masterclasses, workshop doesn't convert, right? Number two is, of course, the audience in itself. So when we decide who we're going to help, how we're going to help them, we need to tie everything back to that. Some people call it the North Star, right? Everything that you do, the message, how you show up, the people that you want to attract, the content you put out, everything needs to be tied back to that. So you only attract people that are committed to getting the help that you provide, that need that help, right? That understand them, that all already realize they are actually in need of some kind of help. They get attracted by your message because they come from your content, right? Somehow. And the more confusing you are in your content, the all over the place you are, or the chase of the instant gratification again, so you change the message over and over and over, it's going to lead to a very confused audience, not the right audience. So when you present your offer to that audience, they're not going to buy because it's not the right audience. The offer might be perfect for a different audience, right? So the message in itself before, and this is everything happening before the event, right? This is not part of the event. This is before the event, when you start attracting people that you're going to invite into your event. So number two, the message in itself, the people, the audience that you have collected to join you in the event, it needs to be the right one. So you can actually help them. And they need what you are selling. And they want to buy what you're selling, right? The number three is, of course, the offer then in itself, because the offer needs to meet the urgent need of the audience. You can't sell an offer to cat people if you have dog people in your audience. They're not going to buy it because they don't need it. They don't think they need it. And you always need to sell what people want to buy, not what you know they need. And that can be a little bit of the difference because you are the expert. Of course, you know what people need, but that is not sometimes what people want to buy, right? And sometimes it can feel tacky. I know when I was in fitness, it felt tacky, and that always I wanted to, I didn't want to speak about quick weight loss, right? Because I didn't believe in it. I felt like it's just like, yeah, talking about weight loss, looking good in a bikini and things like that. It didn't feel good to me as a personal trainer. But in reality, that is what people want. That is what my audience wanted. So as soon as I realized that and I gave them what they wanted and I provided them what they actually needed to get what they wanted, it turned, right? Because all of a sudden people realized that, yeah, I want that. Oh, that I know that I need that. Because people not always buy exactly what they need. They, at the end of the day, buy what they want. And your offer needs to solve big problems, right? It needs to solve the problems that are in top of their mind, and you need to be able to communicate that. And you can't communicate that without understanding the urgent need of that person. What do they actually want? Because then you're going to try to sell from your own space, and you are not where they are. You are over here. But you are selling to people over here, and you need to understand those people. And your offer needs to target those people, solve their problem, giving them the result that they want, right? People always buy the result, and they buy with feelings, with emotion, but they still back it up with logic, right? So the offer in itself, of course. So we have the mindset, the right audience, and the right offer targeting that audience that we now have attracted. Now it comes down to the event in itself. And there is a lot of reason. And I'm sorry that I just move on in the content, but I value your time, and I'm going to go back and answer questions in the comment section later, okay? So when it comes to the content of a Challenger workshop, it needs, of course, be something people want to sign up for, right? But also it's so important that it's actually relevant for your offer, because I sign up for a lot of events because I study a lot of events, right? And that is a part of me elevating my own events, is to study how other people run them. And one thing that I have noticed is that people run events on topics that are really, really tangible. And right now you can see a massive increase in masterclasses, webinar about ChatGPT, because they know it attracts a lot of people. And then they open cart to an offer that is not about ChatGPT. It's a coaching program where they get help with something else. And they just use the tangible topic to get a lot of people to sign up. makes no sense because it's not the right people, right? So your offer in itself need to work as a springboard into your offer. So the natural step for your audience when they have gone through your workshop or your challenge is to go into your offer. And when they do, they're already ahead of other people. It's kind of a fast tracking them to get a result inside your program. Right? So not only does it need to be something people want to sign up for, otherwise people won't sign up, right? It would be like me running a challenge about knowing your numbers. How boring, right? I wouldn't sign up for it, so no one else would. Even if I know it's really, really important to know your numbers when you want to run a business, but it's not tangible, right? So you want to look inside your offer and ask yourself, what do I have inside my offer that is tangible, that people ask me questions about? Take that out and make that your workshop, your challenge, your live launch, because then your offer works like a natural next step, and your launch is like a springboard into that offer, right? So the topic in itself, the content in itself, and then of course how you lay out the content throughout the days, because it needs to be that people need to sign up or join all the days to get the end result. It needs to be something people can take action on, that they can believe that they can do. Why? Because when people enter a challenge, a workshop, they enter with mindset blocks, they enter with limiting beliefs, imposter syndrome, they enter feeling uncertain, and their journey starts day number 1, the day you start speak. That is when the audience's journey begins. Your job is to take them through a journey to get them from what we call cold to sold, right? Uncertain to certain. Imposter syndrome, feeling I can do this, right? I am ready. That transformation is what the challenge is going to build, right? That they feel that they are empowered enough to make a decision, because you are leading them into that decision. It's not only information, because what happens when we build challenges like that, especially webinars, teaching, awkward pitch, right? So people start leaving because people still have the same mindset block. They still have the same limiting belief. They still have the imposter syndrome. All those kind of are left in the audience when you do your pitch. You're not going to be able to sell to those people. So your job throughout the days is to take them on that transformation into the offer, lead them into the offer, making them understand that the key of the kingdom you have here. And it's not about giving them the little and not everything. It's not about those kind of tactical things. It's to actually lead people through a transformation. Lead them, show them that they can do this. Make sure that you have future casting so they can see themselves in the future. Remove the mindset block, remove the objections, build up their confidence. Make sure that they understand that I can do this. I just need this missing piece. But the ones that don't buy need to leave with the transformation. And this is where it kind of gets off here, because there is a lot of snooze fests, a lot of pitch fests, a lot of didn't learn anything. And you want to think of more long term, because you need to move away from instant gratification, quick down here, into thinking up here, long term, legacy building, creating an impact. Because those people that leave, that didn't buy, you want them to have got enough to see that they can actually work for them, because then they will come back. They will refer you to other people, even if they don't become clients, right? That is how you think long term. That is how you play on a level of impact instead of level of instant gratification down here, chasing commodity, right? You need to think more long term, because not everyone is going to buy the first time. That is why it's important to run the reps. And the more reps you run, the more confident you become. The higher it's going to convert, because you're going to be the expert of that topic. People are going to refer your workshop because they know it's so valuable and you know what you're talking about. And it's awesome. Your workshop is awesome, right? So that is why we run the signature workshop. We run the same thing over and over again. So we built mastery around that topic. We own that topic. All my virtual event is around virtual events somehow, right? Because I want to own that on the market. I want to be the expert of that, right? And the last thing in a workshop is the sales process in itself. And I'm going to leave with that. And then I want to welcome you to sign up. I'm going to share the link in the comment section to join our Sales Made Simple workshop. We're going to go through all these different kind of elements to make sure that you can scale your business with simplicity. And with simplicity is to sell your offer to many people at the same time. It's not more complicated than that, okay? It's really, really simple. It's really simple. And I want everyone to be empowered to make things simple, because one of the biggest pitfalls as an entrepreneur is to make things complicated. Right? Simplify things. And there can't be another thing that is more simple than just speak. But of course, it needs to be in a certain way. So I want to welcome you into Sales Made Simple workshop. It's a free workshop. It runs over 8 days. So make sure you sign up on the link in the comment section. But the last thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to increase your sales is, of course, when we have all these kind of building blocks in place, the mindset, the offer, the audience, and the content in itself, the transformation part, it's the sales pitch. And I hate the word pitch because I think it's an invitation. It's an opportunity. So what is important here is that you need to share your offer more than once. I have been to challenges where they opened cart on day 5 and they ended on day 5. And I heard their offer one time. So you need to show up day after day after day in a sales process and touch the limiting beliefs and touch the mindset block and touch those kind of objections that they have. Share testimonials, share social proof, storytelling. You need to continue selling. Some people call it follow-up process, right? It can be days of selling. It doesn't end when you open cart, because not all people will buy when you open cart. They need more. Some people need more, especially when it comes to really high ticket offers, right? So the sales process and actually sharing your offer over and over again and still provide valuable content that lead into the offer. Talk about an objection. Maybe it's time, the biggest objections your audience have. Have a small session about time and lead them into buying your offer, right? So the sales process of actually showing your offer to your audience multiple times is going to be the last key to the puzzle, the key to the kingdom, right? And don't be encouraged by when you open cart, oh, nobody bought, okay, I'm just gonna throw this away, it didn't work. That is not how you play on a level of impact, right? That is kind of a different kind of thinking. That's really short-term thinking, because people need to hear that offer multiple times, and then you need to give them that time. They might need more of you, they might have a question, whatever. And we have an entire process that we run after we have opened cart, depending on where we open cart. It's on day 3, day 4, right? So this sales process, that is the missing kind of last key. And this is actually the biggest, it's like 5 parts that is going to accelerate your sales in your challenge. Understanding it's not information thrown together. And you need to commit to the journey. It's a journey, everything is a journey. But you can't give up just because the first one didn't work that well, right? So I want to thank you for your time, and make sure you come and join us. It's a free 8-day, really interactive workshop, but it's only for people that are willing to take action, because there is a lot of actionable content I'm going to go through, because I don't build my information based. I built my actionable based. There's a lot of content to take action on. Okay, there is CEO implementations that we are going to do. We have an entire workbook that we're going to go through. It's a lot of content, and it's free. So come and join us. The link is in the comment section. So thank you so much for this. I overdid the time a little bit, 25 minutes, but thank you so much for this, and I'm going to be back next week to continue talk about sales and how you can increase sales using virtual event, and use your virtual event for doing the lead generation, the marketing, the messaging, the positioning, because there is so much your virtual events can actually be used for that we kind of overlook sometimes. So thank you so much. I will go back and answer any kind of questions. So just type your questions in the comment section, and I will see you next week on the same day and the same time. So thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye.